Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Arborea. I'm Commander Exorcist, and it is time, once again, my friends, for Talk Tuesday. This is my weekly Elite Dangerous show where I pick a Galnet article, read it, talk about it, primarily from a lore perspective, but I will break the fourth wall if necessary. And I can tell you that this is going to be a Taco Tuesday unlike anything we've done before. Breaking the wall will be a necessity. But before we get started, if you enjoy the content I create on this channel, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you get more of this stuff, and leave a comment below telling me your thoughts and feelings about the recent Thargoid issues we've had. We're going to talk about those. And your opinions and thoughts on colonization. How's that been going? I've been getting kind of stuff on the left and the right about it. It's like some people like it, some people don't, and that's perfectly fine. But so, Taco Tuesday today. We are going to talk about Brewer Corporation again because that's the article that we got. And as usual, I don't read these articles entirely. I just kind of paste them into my presentation here and we go with it. I have looked at the numbers. There's some very impressive numbers in today's article because Brewer has broken down the colonization statistics, and this is just over a 2-week time span. This is a very small amount of time in the grand scheme of things to see and to see what has happened is just breathtaking. So, but there's been a couple of other things going on, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So let's go ahead and I'll talk about that stuff as we get to it. But today's article is Colonial Success and Alien Consequences. That's not in the original article. I'll show you why here in a moment. But the first wave of newly colonized star systems has been labeled a remarkable success by observers from across the core systems. 100% agree. The colonization system, when it works, has been phenomenal. It really has changed the Elite Dangerous galaxy forever. Look at the numbers in the bottom. I'm going to go through those numbers here in a little bit, but if you just glance at them, the amount of work that people have put in to reshaping the galaxy in such a small amount of time has been phenomenal. I have my own star system now. There is an Exorcist home star system. It's Call 285 Sector TON B21-1. There are a few ground surface ports you can visit, a couple of tourist locations. There is an orbital science station, a couple of satellites, and we are currently in the process, at the time of recording this video, of building my headquarters Orbis starport. That just began. That process is just now underway in the last 24 hours. So once I get done with that, then I'm actually going to do a video and do a tour of the system. But, Ghost Giraffe has their own star system now. Alec Turner's building racetracks everywhere. And so there's, it really has given people who have yearned for just that ability to tweak things here and there, it's really opened up just an unimaginable set of opportunities for us. And so I'm excited with it. There's some weirdness to it, and we're going to talk about a little bit about that as we go along. But when it works, and I say that again, when it works pretty well. When it doesn't work, it really doesn't work. This is a pass or fail system. It does not just do like medium output. It's either go or no go, and it was go for a while. Then it's been no go for 2 weeks, and then they started it back on Friday, which that caused some unique things we're going to showcase here in a moment. It says Harlow Nasri of the Federal Times wrote that the raw potential of these new ports and settlements has inspired migration, with a notable number of displaced refugees from Sol boarding colony ships to start fresh. Hey, I'm sure there's still burned out husks of things in Sol that need to be rebuilt. And so why not start in the Exorcist home system? Relocate, become part of our family. And that is an interesting kind of perspective on things where this is the ultimate post-war prosperity period where humanity is celebrating its victory, and in celebrating that victory, we're coming together, we're building new starports, and people are relocating, they're seeking out new opportunity. The war has changed everything about our galaxy, and this is just a small consequence of it. But I'm concerned. I'm a little concerned. And What could I possibly be concerned with? Well, you know what I'm concerned with? I'm concerned with the idea that we have sat for so long on the same static setup as far as colonies and starports and surface settlements and everything. And then all of a sudden, Brewer has this new technology that allows us to build a new surface port by delivering 110 fish, 400 beer, 25 coffee, and 12 surface stabilizers. And then boom, you have a surface port. Now, obviously, I'm exaggerating the numbers a little bit, but that's what's happening, is we're delivering kind of these random items at times. And when you've delivered your last banana, boom, you have an active starport. And so what has changed? Because something has changed. And it makes me wonder, and I don't have any solid evidence to back this up. This is more of a theory of mine. But I'd like to know what kind of technology Brewer has gotten a hold of. What did they discover that has allowed them to suddenly start dispatching these massive colony ships everywhere that drop in resources and the sudden ability for us to build starports like candy? Now, it's not like we can just go out and build 1,000 orbises in a star system. There are rules to it. There are rules. I mean, we'll talk about those in a minute. But what have they done? And I can't help but think that this is such a monumental change to the dynamics of the galaxy and how we do business. I mean, myself as an individual, being able to go out and build a system where an economy is established, lives are changed, people are migrating there, to have that amount of power to a single individual to determine how that looks, it's really shocking that it happened so quickly. There's not a phased approach to it. So it makes me wonder what Brewer's been up to, and do they have some kind of technology underlying this process that might be nefarious, I'll say. Colm Tornquist, good Lord, these names, of the Imperial Herald noted that the considerable opportunity offered by Brewer Corporation's support system for independent system colonization, remarking that these fledgling populations are potential candidates to accept the Empire's benevolence. Please accept the benevolent care of my beloved Empire. My Emperor will take good care of you. And it is cool. I mean, that's such an Imperial statement. My God. This right here proves what I was talking about in my other Colonial video. I was talking about why is it that the superpowers would suddenly allow this to happen. You know, wouldn't they want to have a hand in how these things are set up? I'm like, no, they don't. They just want the money for it. They just want the control. So the Empire will allow us to build all kinds of stations as long as, you know, we're willing to accept their benevolent control. I guess that's just really... yeah, that's such an Imperial thing. But it makes sense. You know, they have kind of subsidized the construction and development of these systems to Brewer, who in turn kind of makes us subcontractors and is thrown out there that individual commanders can buy a 25 million credit nav beacon and then spend the next 4 months hauling whatever it is, bio waste, tea, coffee. Meanwhile, Irfan Karim of the Alliance Tribune suggested that the commercial enterprise offered by these system architects is truly impressive. One wonders just how far this frontier will expand, given the industrial potency of these trailblazing communities. So what they're saying here is twofold. It's a combination of, will the resources hold out? As we build more stations and resources will become spread thin at some point, because there's only so many resources to go around in a finite area. And so, you know, but over time, we'll be able to overcome that with industrial centers and different things. So it makes sense, and that you would want to be concerned about that, because are we going to have the resources to be able to continue building out? Like a lot of folks right now, we're just confined to some areas around the bubble. There's a lot of stars that were inside the bubble itself that were not taken, kind of like the one that I took. And you've got some people that are daisy chaining out there. And it makes me wonder too, how long is this going to last? How long is the drive going to last? This is not going to be for everybody. A lot of people like myself, I colonize one star system. I think that's going to be enough for me unless I see something really amazing and I'm able to capture it before somebody else does. But I'm not really driven to go out and throw down a bunch of colonies in the black. But there are people out there that are. This gives hauling a whole new purpose. And so there are folks that are going to be out there doing that. And so it's kind of the question of how long are the resources going to hold out, and how long is the drive, the personal determination to do that. And there's going to be somebody out there, like there's the guy like me who's in the bubble. Hey, I got a home now, no big deal. I got space stations that I have a system that I can work out of that I can call my own. I'm good with that. You got people that are going to daisy chain. They're trying to reach whatever particular star or area. That's fine. And then I guarantee you, mark my words, you heard it first here, somebody out there is going to colonize a set of star systems in a way that it spells their name or draws a picture or some other weird thing. There's going to be that guy. You're going to see it on Which Space News or on Galnet or something, where Commander so-and-so has drawn a smiley face with the systems that he's colonized. It's coming. Just be ready for it. Now, let's go through the numbers real quick, and then I want to talk about some extra stuff that is a little bit different for this Taco Tuesday. That's why I keep saying that. So Brewer says that over 26,000 system claims were made. 13,000 of those systems became colonized. So it's about a 50% colonization rate. That's pretty good. That's really good when you think about. I'd say a lot of those people picked Orbis stations and some of the bigger ones that take many, many thousands of materials, where for me, I just picked a smaller one, and I think that's the best strategy. If you want to colonize and claim a system, pick the smallest installation you can find to be your first one, because it has to be done in like 40 days. Get it done, and there you go. So, or is it 24 days? I can't remember. It's like 3 weeks or something. You don't have long to do it. So pick a small one. 24,000 new starports. That's 24,000 orbital stations that are out there. 14,000 surface ports, which this number kind of surprised me because surface ports are not that hard to make. They take a lot less resources than the orbital stuff. So I'm surprised that more people haven't built those, but to each his own. And then the biggest one, this is huge. Almost 1 billion units of cargo has been moved since this program started 2 weeks ago. That's 2 freaking weeks. We've moved almost 1 billion units of cargo. That's insane. I don't think you can't argue. This has been a huge success already. Huge success. Even with the system turned off, it's still been generating income, and it's still working for the people that were able to claim systems. And now it's back on as of Friday. But I mean, this is insane numbers. And so, yeah, very, very happy with that. Okay, so that's the article. We're going to talk a little bit about the article as well, but I have some fears. I have some concerns about what's happening out there. As I said earlier, does Brewer Corporation have access to some kind of technology that we don't know about? What is it that just all of a sudden happened? Because it used to be when you built a starport, like you had to have thousands of commanders and lots of stuff. It was like a community goal. It took a lot of effort. It took forever for things to come online. And then all of a sudden, Brewer has these colony ships where all I got to do is deliver 15 bananas, and all of a sudden I have a surface port. It's weird. It really is. And there's been a few things that have happened in the bubble that have kind of reinforced a little bit of my, I guess you could say, trepidation with this system. What if we are not the only ones out there ready to do colonization in the galaxy? What happens when the Thargoids find out that humanity is suddenly having a population and expansion boom? What's to say that they don't come seeking out their own colonization areas? So there was an interesting event. There was a Thargoid combat zone, a Thargoid CZ that appeared recently in the bubble, and I am going to link a video in the description of this video to the Burp Hit that recently did a video on it. I'm also going to link to Mile 13 Gaming that also did a video on the recent Thargoid event. So there'll be some more details for you to check that out. But that's just a small thing. But it happened, and it got turned off from what I hear. That's the words I was told, turned off. And then there were some folks out there saying that the Titans were regenerating. They are not regenerating. There was an error that was causing materials to clump together in the center. The Titans are gone, at least the Titans that we fought, they are gone, and they're not regenerating. And so there's no evidence of that. It was a bug. They actually mentioned it in the patch notes recently for the weekly server maintenance that they had fixed that. But then there was something that happened on Friday that really caught my attention, and it kind of goes in line with what we've been seeing. And so what I'm going to show you is a screenshot from Inara, and this is HIP 20827, and look who it's controlled by. Its allegiance is to the Thargoids. That is not who controls or its power play. That is a superpower allegiance field. Supposedly, this system, at least at the time, this was on Friday before this video is going live. Yeah, it was controlled by the Thargoids, the Thargoid Superpower. So, what does that mean? It could mean nothing. It could be a bug. It could be a lot of things. But what I'll tell you that I think it means is that I'm convinced that very soon we are about to enter into the next phase of our interactions with the Thargoids. I put out a video yesterday on the Thargoid War, and I said in that that the Thargoids are not gone, and they are not gone, and we have to be ready for them to return. And I don't think they're going to return in the same way that they did with Titans and everything else and a massive war effort. I wouldn't be surprised if once they learn that we're having this expansion boom, if they start locking out systems or trying to colonize them for themselves. Imagine a border war with a Thargoid superpower. That would be cool. It really would. Combining elements of Trailblazers with dynamics of the war effort to make just a really intriguing approach to the social and political dynamics between humanity and the Thargoids. We can't just be shooting at each other every day, although some people do that. But I wonder if that is what we are approaching. And I think that at the moment, the evidence suggests that. I could be wrong. I could be reading into this a lot. It's just really a theory of mine. But I think that there's a lot of nefarious things going on behind the scenes that we have to be careful of, because the Thargoids are not gone. And humanity, we have learned this, or we should have learned this before, that spreading our wings and colonizing everything in sight can sometimes lead to very dire consequences. And if we step on the wrong world, or we step in the wrong star system, and we start planting our flag there, the Thargoids may not be too happy with that, and we may find ourselves right back where we started. I hope it's not the case, but you never know. Hey, everybody, these are the Disciples. If you would like to support the work that I do here on this channel, go to commanderexorcist.tv/support to pledge yours today. I would love to have you as part of the group. You get early access to some of my bigger videos. You get behind-the-scenes stuff, vlogs, and special interaction, all kinds of cool stuff. I try to make it worth your while, so if you're interested, there's the address. Would love to have you aboard. And that is going to be it for Taco Tuesday today. It was a little bit longer, but there's a lot to go over. I think that there's some really intriguing things that are about to happen. Like I said, I may not be right, but I just feel it that I don't think we're done with the Goids, and I think that humanity needs to be very careful. We can celebrate our wins, and the colonization thing is really cool, but we should not turn our back on the Thargoids just yet. There's too many things that have happened that I'd say it's too much to be a coincidence at this point. So when you're out there, everybody, and you're colonizing, be careful, watch your backs, and just, do the right thing, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be fun, because we're just getting started. Hey, everybody, I'm Commander Exorcist. Take care, fly safe, and I will see you out there.